Show, best geek talk show on the interwebs. Oh, yeah. We have some great guests tonight. You know them. Obviously, I'm Dan the Law Arena. And over here we got Tony. Underneath we got CG artist Ron and Martin from Dune Sea Outpost.
Morning music.
Oh yeah. I'll let that turn off. All right, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Fabulous.
Tony's losing it.
Ron's just so damn funny, man. He doesn't have to do anything. Just look at the camera.
That's high school all over again.
Oh.
Well, just to let everybody know, everybody here and one guy we are missing, Richard, he must have fell asleep. He's from Great Britain, you know, he's from England, so
it's pretty late there.
His time, it's like 3 a.m. over there. So I figured he fell asleep and he ain't coming. So yeah, everybody's stuff is in the description box down below. Go check them out. Go subscribe to their channels. Watch their stuff.
Yeah, do it.
Tony, Ron, and Martin are all like prop makers, room builders, stuff like that. But well, in that, why don't we just go around the circle here and you guys can tell them what you do. Go ahead, Tony. You can go first.
Hey guys, Tony from Docking Bay 327. I actually had to look at the number, make sure I got it right. Say it so often, I can remember. Docking Bay 12? No, it's not it. What is it? So yeah, this is my office. I've made everything in here with just hand tools, power tools, and it's been a blast. My YouTube channel kind of walks you through how I make some of the stuff and what I think about when I'm, you know, my thought process and all of that. So go over and check it out.
Sweet.
All right, Martin here from the Dune Sea Outpost in Puerto Rico, in the Caribbean, and an apprentice prop maker, wannabe room builder, and newbie YouTuber. That pretty much sums it up.
Hey guys, Ron, better known as CG artist. I guess you could classify me as room builder. Built this room. You can see kind of some of it. For more, go and take a look at my channel, which is also named CG Artist. And yeah, gonna start to get into dioramas, more props, now cosplay. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Sweet.
What about you, Dan?
I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
All right.
Yeah, Dan.
What about me? Well, I'm just I'm a podcaster and a wannabe everything else that you guys do. I just wish and dream and you know, one day I'll look behind me and go, oh, that's cool. I mean, maybe I'll do that, but you know.
There is no maybe. There is just do.
That's right. There's do.
Where's that Zool?
So what's up? We got Cool Gamer, Uncle Mike, and Anonymous. Zool.
That's one. We have one fan.
Oh, speaking of,
right.
Did you know Ghostbusters? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Did you know that Ghostbusters Day is coming up June 6th? So
there is no Ghostbusters.
I know it's not
there
Star
is only
Wars,
Zool.
but it's, you know, it's another.
Why June 6th?
Is that when the original movie came out?
I guess that's when it came out in theaters.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I still haven't seen the newest, latest, greatest. I know it's messed up, right?
It's good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was cool.
You should watch. You should watch it in your theater room that you're sitting in now.
I will. Right here. Just be like,
Yeah.
this sucks. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm old school. Kids should only be in Goonies. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, wait till the skeleton crew comes out. Then you're gonna be
Kids should only be in Goonies.
So what's that going to be about? That skeleton
Crew?
Yeah.
Goonies, but Star Wars.
Stranger Things meets.
Oh, or that. Kids should be in that. Yes. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 4 kids, 3 are human, 1's a. I can't remember the name of the species. It's the same guy, Max Rebo, who plays the keyboard and the. I think it's one of those.
Okay.
I'm a terrible Star Wars fan. I don't know the name of that.
Shame on you.
Let me look it up.
Yep.
And those creatures have legs? I've always wondered that. Oh yes, they do. They do.
Nope.
That's
All he has is a keyboard. That's what he has.
no, you
No
know.
legs.
No, he might be like Sebulba that walks on his hand.
Oh my God, no. God, no.
Max Rebo is a male ortolan.
Okay.
Ortolan.
Okay. I didn't know that either. Now we know. He's a male organ.
Sweet.
Sorry. It's a family show. Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
a good one.
Sorry.
Isn't it?
Sorry.
That's all I can do, Ron.
Sorry.
I had to bite my tongue. Never mind. Yes.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at creating that. That's my talent. It's like high school all over again. Oh, he's entered the room. Hi, guys. Did it get awkward again?
I actually thought your camera froze, so that was good.
That was really good. I almost spit this all over the screen.
Well,
funny.
I guess what's our
Is anybody
topic today?
watching these?
Somebody might be watching. Hey, someone will watch later when it gets all the reviews in.
So what?
Yeah.
So
Rotten
I do have a
Tomatoes.
question for everybody.
Shoot.
What how does Star Wars be Star Wars? Like, what makes Star Wars to you guys? That's the question.
That's a heated question. We're going to be here for hours.
Right?
Oh, that's good. All
That's
right,
the idea,
go.
I guess.
Go.
Ron, you go first.
What? Okay. Well, I'd say the plethora. That's a new word. Yeah, plethora of characters and design sense. You can tell by the silhouette of some characters exactly what it is, right? When you see the design, any sci-fi, you can almost. Sometimes people always say, "Hey, it looks like Star Wars or Star Trek." Sometimes, but I guess memorable characters, memorable vehicles, one-liners. It's that's what makes Star Wars Star Wars. I think we touched upon it on my show, the Star Wars podcast. We touched on it where Andor came out, and we were wondering if that was Star Wars. And the main theme were the fact that they used bricks, that they used excavators that you can see in our world, and those things made it seem less Star Wars like. So the aesthetics of Star Wars, easily recognizable stuff. Us as makers, when we want to make something Star Wars like, what do? We add these particular things, either the oval shapes like what's behind me, notches, you know, the way we do the control panels. Can't forget the pinstriping, right? So those things, those aesthetics are what makes Star Wars Star Wars. I mean, it's a loaded question, and I could go on and on, but that, for me, that's what does it.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay.
For me, it's the used
Anyone else?
universe. It's the weathered look.
Yeah, that's true.
I read somewhere recently where the original interior of the Millennium Falcon was all built, and then a guy went through with a big jug of grease and just smeared it on all over everything. He's like, it looks too new. We got to make this dirty. And for me, that it grounds it into, our world a little bit. Because rarely is anything brand new for very long. So in my mind, it's that, and then it's the story behind the story. So not necessarily midi-chlorians. Yes, I said the word. Slap me later. But the idea of the Force and the whole the mystic piece of how it kind of intertwines with everything, that makes it stand apart as Star Wars versus any other sci-fi show.
I think that, of course you could philosophize if you were talking about the visual aspect or the context of the story or whatever. But I mean, some people think that Star Wars is all about Jedi and the Force, and Andor particularly proved that wrong. And that was one of the things that I liked most about Andor.
Yeah.
What made Andor most appealing to me was seeing this part of the galaxy that was so grounded. While it still was fantasy, it was so grounded in reality, because you got real people with no powers, with no force abilities, with no lightsabers, who have jobs or are trying to make a living under rough conditions, like Andor himself.
Right.
And it looked like I was watching a movie of World War II Poland or something like that. A place that is being oppressed by a higher political power. And I love that about Andor, and that proves that Star Wars is not just about Jedi, lightsabers, and the Force, and etc. But what would tie that in with the rest of Star Wars? I would say that there's a visual aspect. Of course, you have the story where the Empire is a central character, of course,
right,
and the struggle between what's going to become the rebellion and the Empire. But yes, there are some visual cues that make it unmistakably Star Wars. Like Tony and CG and Ron said, the rectangles with the rounded corners. That's most. I would say 85 to 90% of light fixtures have that element. That's design. The buttons, you have very particular buttons, like either the square tiles or the hexagonal tiles. And the fact that that nothing looks new. I mean, you look at a Star Trek set picture, and it has its own visual cues, or Galaxy Quest or some other sci-fi. And Star Wars is very, very well defined, and I agree with Tony that in great part is the used universe concept. That you have things that are dirty, there are some things that are falling apart, some things that have been patched up, and that also adds to the realism of it. Things do break down, and you have to patch them over time. And and to me personally, Star Wars is also by the music as an experience. There's a great part of it that is about the music. The music does have a particular sound, and again, that was constant all the way up to Andor. Andor really changed that.
Yeah,
very interesting. And I myself became a musician because of Star Wars. I mean, when I saw Star Wars in 1977, I became enamored with the music, and it made me want to become a film composer. And I studied music because I wanted to get into film scoring. And when I saw Rogue One, I was very impressed by what the composer did, because it sounds just like John Williams' style.
Similar.
Very similar. But it wasn't made by him. It was Michael Giacchino. And then comes Andor, and it turns around completely.
Yeah.
For example, the first episode, the scene with BMO comes in. The music is completely different. It's got all kind of synthesizers and stuff. And there's a part that I found very striking, which is when Andor is actually going off planet, escaping, and you hear this drum track, grungy, and I was like, wow, that's so different, but it's so cool, and it somehow fit the context. Maybe there was some personal bias because I really liked the series from the start. So people would argue that it's not, but I mean, I don't know how else to put it. But
did you notice the change in music with the title?
Yes. Every episode, the main theme was changing slightly. I think it was very, very smart. It's a way that the composer is showing how Andor himself, how his journey is forging him into what he's about to become, captain or whatever. But yes, that was very cool too.
Yep. I think another thing to touch back on what makes Star Wars, you could have taken Andor and put it in and called it anything else until certain things came up. Empire, mention of Empire, aesthetics of the background, we've hammered that in. The moment you see a TIE fighter, then that instant recognition, oh, this is of that universe. And then, even if we hadn't seen Rogue One, those little elements, and then of course Coruscant, those little elements they threw in there, you instantly knew, okay, that's that universe. Whereas most franchises, you couldn't do that with, like, Buck Rogers. You could probably do it with Alien. Buck Rogers, you couldn't do it with, or Flash Gordon back in the. Well, actually, I take that back, because Flash Gordon had just a unique ship kind of design. And I guess now thinking about it, you could move it into those particular sci-fis just by changing those few little things. If you did throw ships in there from Buck Rogers, let's say, you would instantly know it's in that universe. So it's those recognizable symbols, the symbolism, that would do it. I mean, even down to droids, people, interchangeable. You could throw any actors in there and you just wouldn't know until you saw those visual cues, right?
Right.
Like even with the music, the soundtrack. I mean, when you look at something like, what's the name of that one sci-fi that has very unique soundtrack? I forget the name of it, but basically there's these androids, and I think one of them they're trying to raise children down on a planet.
Oh, yes.
Ring a bell.
Raised by Wolves.
Yes, Raised by Wolves, which had
oh my god,
sound,
that
right?
theme, that theme is
fantastic. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god!
And it had a used look to a point, but and all you had to do was throw in a few little elements in there, and it would instantly be in that Star Wars universe. Mm-hmm. So the same thing with Andor. Had they not put those little cues in there, it could have been anything, any sci-fi drama, right?
Yep.
Right. Sure. But the fact that the Empire is part of the story,
that helps too. Yeah.
It drives a lot of the context and gives you, I mean, you know what's going to happen eventually, because this is sort of a prequel to Rogue One in a way.
Yep.
And yes, I mean, it drives fans. It sparks your curiosity as a fan. Like, okay, this is where this guy came from, and how he's going to go all, in this direction. I mean, and Andor is a very particular character, because you didn't see. I had not seen a cold-blooded killer like him before. I mean, that beginning of Rogue One when he shoots his friend. I mean, not his friend, but the guy that was informing him. That was like, oh my God, he shot him just to be able to escape, and that's cold blooded.
Yeah.
It's an interesting character. I mean, is he good? Is he bad?
Yep.
I mean, the closest we had gotten to that before then in the original movies was, when Han shot first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's true. That was the first cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
But
Or
George Lucas has to screw it up.
Yeah, or what you expect from Vader or the Emperor. That was like as deep as killing got, right? Even Jabba the Hutt, kind of toyed with them. I mean, putting them into a Sarlacc pit, versus just shooting them right there, just right there. You don't have to go through all of this. Get rid of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or what Boba Fett tried to do. I mean, had had Vader not intervened, Chewie would have just gotten shot.
That's true. That's
right.
True.
Vader had to stop him from. I mean, that would have ended ugly.
It would have. Yeah.
Or he could have messed up 3PO even more.
Yeah. I made that, right? Those things.
Yeah. Next question, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
Your time to talk.
Next
Yeah, what do you think? You answered it. What makes
My
Star Wars
time to
good?
talk. I don't know, George Lucas. That's it. No,
Well, not anymore.
I'm okay with some of this. That's right. I'm okay with some of the Disney stuff, but it's not my favorite. Obviously, the original thought process behind Star Wars was one guy, and obviously he can do whatever he wants with it. But then when you give it to somebody else, it's kind of like, ooh, it's like, I don't know. Would George Lucas even approve of some of the stuff, or would he not like it? You don't know.
It's a double-edged sword,
I've seen
right?
some. Yeah, it is. I've seen some fan films on YouTube that they do a pretty good job at keeping. They even kind of keep it more George Lucas style, to be honest. When you watch it, and you're like,
even a certain cuts, wipes.
So I mean, some fan. Yeah, exactly. So some fan films, honestly, I think are a little bit better than Disney, but Disney has the money to make, the visuals. That's the only Disney has over everybody else is the money for visuals.
Yeah. It's funny how even so they screw it up.
Yeah, it's amazing how they give us what they think we want. I mean, in some cases it worked. I'd say Andor, Mandalorian season 1, part of season 2, Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me. That's kind of it. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka. It looks really good. I don't. You know how you can watch a trailer for something, right? You know how you can watch a trailer and something. Just you don't want to say it, or you can feel it inside. Something's just not right. Mm-hmm. I felt that way with Boba Fett. Like watching the trailer, I was excited, but something was off. And having seen it now, I realized what it was. Even with Mandalorian season 3, something was kind of off. But obviously, I want to see it, and saw what we got. Yeah. So with Ahsoka, I get this really good vibe. It's just either that or the trailer is fantastic. It's I said it in the Almost Star Wars show that if you wanted a lesson on how to do a trailer, the Ahsoka one would be that lesson among tons of other movies that have done it right, where they either twist things around to make you think one thing, but you've seen the trailers, you've seen when trailers hey, there's a fan. You've seen trailers.
Jump in the call, actually.
Right? I mean, you've seen when trailers have shown us everything, right? So that when you go to the show, you're like, I've seen all of this. All the good parts were there because it's But you've seen where some trailers, some movies, I didn't even know this was coming out. We just go to the theater and like, hey, that looks interesting, and you're like, why hasn't anyone talked about this, right? There's a movie called. Man, I'm so bad with movie names. I believe I guess all I can do is just name what happens in the movie, and that's it. I guess it's kind of a sci-fi, kind of not. There's this child who can have a baby, and they're trying to get her to safety. I think it's. I'll find the name of it before the end of this. But the point I'm making is, I get a
creator. Was it something like that?
What's that?
The Creator, something like that.
No, I gotta find it. Something Children of Men, I think, something like that.
Okay,
I'll find it. But the point I was getting at, before I went on my tangent, is you kind of get this good vibe for some of the stuff. And Disney has been more misses than hits, right? I mean, look at Solo.
Yeah.
For me, this is just my opinion, but look at the latest 3 Star Wars movies aside from Rogue One. Just such potential.
You got a super sticker.
Completely mess these things up, man. Completely messed them up.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wanted to see the great reunion. You should just know this. Being a fan or knowing anything about Star Wars and the long time it's taken for the 3 movies that we ended up getting, everyone wants to see the gang get back together. It's just, why wouldn't you want that? You know, it just seems odd. Yeah, so odd to me. You know, and then I get killing off characters. I get that, but I don't know. Wow, I went on quite a tangent. I guess just what
that's all right.
You said that Lucas is what made it for you, and I wonder if Lucas was still at the helm, if it was still his company, would we see any of this? But right? You'd have a Disney Channel, but you wouldn't have Star Wars would kind of be stuck with Return of the Jedi, and that's it. So while I love the man for what he's created, I'm glad he was able to pass it on and let someone else do something with it, because we would have no Andor, we would have no 3 movies, or the 3 movies would be different. Who knows if they'd be better or not?
They would be different.
Have no Ahsoka. We just wouldn't have.
Well, I mean, Lucas has had his hits and misses too. I mean,
he has. He has.
I was not particularly blown away in terms of the director,
the Frog Lady,
the production, Frog Lady, of the prequel trilogy. I mean, that had
I agree.
I mean, there were some things that he changed over the course of things. Some plot lines that had been established in the original trilogy books that he changed. And to me, the third movie, which depicts the fall of Anakin into the dark side, I think that was pulled by the hair. I think that was like too quickly. I don't know.
All of them. I mean, that if there was anything that needed a series, those 3 movies needed a series, so we could really see the love relationship, which was weird because of the age. I'm not all right. The love relationship.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
We needed to see the Emperor manipulating and Anakin truly turning and finally going over the edge. You cannot convey all that in 3 movies.
No.
You know, especially
now he did it in 1 because
young adult. I mean, we didn't see the teen years, you know.
Yeah.
And speaking of having that bad feeling when you watch a trailer, man, I tried hard to like the Phantom Menace from the trailer. I really tried to like that. Something wasn't right. And then when I see the movie, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, but once
is this it? This is it? Then the credits roll up. You're like, oh no, this got to be a bad dream. I want to wake up now. I would like to wake up now. Please. Oh my God. This was horrible. From the first 5 minutes. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to.
No. It's okay.
I'm not going to go on my tangent because, man.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, let's talk about Phantom Menace for a moment. The highlight of the Phantom Menace, I think, for most fans was what? I think it was a duel between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. We had never seen Jedi on their prime, and that was impressive. I mean, the choreography really was impressive. That was the first time we saw a double-bladed lightsaber, which was also like, whoa, what the hell is that, you know? And just that sequence, to me, is worth the movie. It makes it worthy to put up with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, I go into that movie thinking that too, and then some of the pod race, which was entirely too long, I thought, and that's it. That's it, right?
Yep.
Duel and some pod race. I don't know. Misses, lots of misses there. I feel like they should have gotten to Anakin when he was a little bit older, but then I guess it wouldn't really make the story. I don't know.
I mean, okay, everybody's a critic. If I had written it, I would have started off with Anakin already a Padawan. I mean,
yeah, there was no real reason to go way far back, right?
Right. I mean, you could explain that he was an orphan or whatever, that they took him from his mother, and you know, you could have saved all that sequence with Watto and the rescuing the queen, which was not a queen, and you know, going to Tatooine, blah blah blah. I mean, you could cut through all that and already establish Anakin as a Padawan with some issues from his background, and you know,
and then show flashbacks of those issues.
Exactly, and be better at drawing out the conflict that took him eventually to the dark side, instead of, you know, just pushing him down a staircase on the third episode, and here I go, wow, I'm on the dark side, you know.
Yeah.
The whole let me save your, I'll give you the power to save your wife from Palpatine was kind of lame, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's some. I think had they started with him as a Padawan, they could have fleshed out the story a bit more too.
Exactly.
The love between them would have been a little bit more believable. It was so tacked on. It was like, wait, what? What is this?
Well, I mean, with a lot of those prequel movies, George Lucas had a lot of yes men. You know, he didn't have anybody like his.
Wow.
Like
wouldn't you be?
A New Hope? Yeah, I mean, like in New.
Anything you
I know,
want.
but right, that's true. But like in New Hope, it worked because his wife said, "Hey, let's change some things. Let's make it make a little bit more sense." You know.
Yeah.
He needed somebody to say, "This doesn't work. Let's do this," or this. You know, that's what he needed. Because even in the other two movies, he didn't even direct them. So you know,
that's right, and that was actually good. I mean,
it was Empire Strikes Back.
It was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just fantastic. It's a great movie. It really is.
It is.
Yes.
So I think that's what he needed in those prequels, is somebody to help direct and somebody to help challenge him and say, I don't know if this works the right way. You know. Let's
challenge and not get fired off the project, right? Because that's
right.
I mean, if I was working on it, I'd be like, "This is the stupidest thing." What? Oh, nothing. Just working on it.
Whatever you say.
And besides, it looks good on your resume. I worked on stuff.
Right. Yeah.
No matter how stupid this is, you know, Jedi can't swim very well. This is messed up, but I'm gonna still work on it. Like, what is this Jar Jar? What?
Yes, man.
What'd you say? Nothing. Not just animating.
Nothing. Yeah, animating. Yeah.
Just animating. Yeah, I've always thought that too, Martine. That people just were like, I'm working on Star Wars. I'm not gonna say anything. I just want to keep my job and keep this under my resume.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony,
the board was probably just
you've been too quiet.
Stuff, you know.
To Yarl's point, though, I mean, you know, everything that Lucas did wasn't perfect either, right?
Nope.
So I mean, I don't blame Disney for the misses, because I think that, you know, everybody pretty much that is involved in these projects is a super geek fan like we are. You know, so they want to do it justice, and it's you know, sometimes you hit it out of the park and sometimes it doesn't quite get there. That's just, you know, how the story's told, how it's filmed, what the limitations are on timing. You know. So
plus the chopping block too. I mean, there's some things, hit scenes that we'll never see that may have made it make more sense too, and for the sake of time, like you said, chopped, like, you know, the pacing or something, you know, it's too slow, chop that off. Whereas it would have made sense, right? I think there's a whole scene where we go to Padme's family's house for dinner. It's such a slow. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before we keep talking, I just want to say Smart and Music for the 99-cent super sticker, and
there you go.
Whitey for the $1.99 super chat.
Also,
So, yeah, that's fun.
Miss Martin Muses, that's an
Thank
interesting
you.
name.
And also, we have somebody sitting. Yes, we also have our other guest sitting in the back. So let's bring him on.
All right.
There he is.
Hello,
Rich.
can you hear me?
Oh my God, what time is it there?
Yep, we hear you.
Wow.
Can you actually hear
Great.
me?
Start over with the questions.
Is my microphone working?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, we
it
can
is.
hear you.
we can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. I've only just bought this little cheap microphone. I thought I'd just give it a try.
Sounds good.
Right. Good.
You have a strange
Brilliant.
accent, but it sounds good. No, just kidding.
Cheers. How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Good to have you on board.
Very
Ah,
well.
brilliant. Yeah. A little bit tired. I set my alarm for 2:30. We're just having a little drop of coffee. Should be okay.
Good.
Cool.
That's it.
So, I mean, we started off introducing ourselves, so why don't you, tell us about yourself?
Oh, me. Basically, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like everyone, just a bit of a Star Wars nut, and just basically grown up through it. Mum took me to see Star Wars, and I just haven't been the same since. So I've just, I just love building all the stuff, and I mean, my latest creation is just right here.
Wow.
Orient.
Oh my God.
That's cool.
Oh, very
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, he's my co-host.
Love it. Look at that thing.
A face only a mother could love, right?
Yeah, I made
Rich.
it out of clay and made a big plaster mold.
Very
And,
cool.
Nice.
I just kept going. I just bought. I think I used about 60 kilo of clay on him,
Wow.
and
And
then
that's what happens.
yeah, you just keep going and adding, and that was it. And then I nearly broke the foot because I put him on a bit of a former which I made out of expanding foam, and just everything was creaking. All the wood that I supported him on, and I screwed him to an old bar stool, and it was just creaking and just kept wobbling, and and it just went. And making the mold, that was just bonkers. Just everything went wrong. I don't know how I got that out. I really don't. But he's made out of cheap latex, and an expanding foam holds it together. So he's just as light as a kitten. It's really, you know what I mean? Once I pull it off there, I can just chuck it around. It's so light.
Nice.
But
It looks fantastic, man.
Yeah,
Cheers.
that looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm just making his headdress. So that's just where I am at the moment. I've just made that out of clay, made a throwaway mold, made one out of fiberglass, and now I'm just now I've got the fiberglass. I'm adding to it because where I do a bit of playing down the unit, we made a vat form machine. So
Nice.
that's how I just want to make the stuff out of make an actual vat form mold. So yeah. Yeah, so
Dan,
that's
can
where I
you
am.
zoom in on him? I want to get a better look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No. Dan can. There you go.
I do that.
Oh my, that's super cool.
Right, there we go. I don't remember the hat, though, in the movie. That's cool.
Yeah.
No,
Artistic
that looks
license.
fantastic, man.
Well, he's off duty, so he went to a party.
Give him a gold tooth. I think that would go over well.
Yeah. And a big gold
Oh,
chain.
that'd be
Of
sweet.
course. Why wouldn't you? No, man, that looks fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't finished painting yet. The teeth are just sort of.
Oh no!
Oh my God! He's a cavities.
That guy needs a dentist.
Just
Oh
little-
my God! Look at this,
Latex.
dude. The cavities are real.
So
So
now you know that Java the Hutt doesn't pay for dental insurance.
no kidding.
I've got
So
some.
question for
eventually I'll
you:
have some
when you
little
get him
glass
finished
eyes.
and everything.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
wow, he's got false eyes too. What man? This guy's
Yeah.
been through the
No,
ringer,
that's-
hasn't he?
Yeah, they're just some
Nice.
little eyes that I bought. That when I sculpted him, sort of sculpted around these. So basically, now I can cut this latex out and then
Right.
just stick these little beady eyes in.
When you are finally done with it, are you gonna like use some sort of latex to simulate the slime coming from his mouth and all that?
Yeah, I think
Nice,
definitely.
nice.
Yeah, I've
Very
got
nice.
I've got a lot of still a lot of clear rubber and stuff kicking about, which I'll have a go with that. I might try because I've got some clear silicone as well and all that, and just making it really as messy as possible.
Very cool.
But yeah, there's so much to do. In fact, it took me ages to paint the latex in the mold, so I actually want to try and find some rubbers that I can put in that will dry themselves. Because it took me days of doing a layer after layer after layer. So I just want to sort of put something in there that'll just dry. But it's just how much it's going to cost, isn't it, on the rubbers? Because just recently doing props for me film that I've been doing, I've just done a false head, and it was about 50 or 60 quid just for a bit of rubber, just to make a small sort of my head size. So I don't know what this is going to cost, and I sculpted all his shoulders as well, just because I just kept going, and I've got to make his shoulder bells yet. So, but I can fill the mold, because at first what the plan was to make a sort of a naked Gamorrean guard, and then I'd just dress him with leather. And then one of my mates says, "Oh, why don't you just sculpt the leather on, and then you can just do it all in one foul swoop?" So I wished I hadn't at this point in time, but
Yeah,
I
you can
can
still change it.
Yeah, because the mold, I can put some clay in the mold and then just pull him out. So yeah, that's my game plan.
Are you doing the full
It's going to
body?
be a bust, right? I had the same question.
Sorry,
Are you going to do the whole body, or is it going to remain as a
Well,
bust? Or
that's I think where my head's been at the moment, because I'm thinking, wow, because when he's up the corner, because it's such a big thing, you can't just put it on a shelf. So I am tempted to try and, because I've where I've been working, a bit of demolition going on. I've grabbed a lot of Kingspan, so I can just make the legs and arms. That's where my head sort of is, but it's just time, isn't it?
Have you thought about using foam, perhaps? Like, so two-part question. Is this going to be something that you can wear, or is this just going to be something that's static, like a statue?
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Okay.
What I've done is I've made the eyes quite far apart, because, as we know, it was an actor in a suit wanted in Return of the Jedi, and I thought the eyes just looked a little bit too beady. So I've just sort of done it like nature would and put the eyes far apart. But I've actually made some little blank bits here. So if you wanted to cut little holes here, you could see through and still have the glass eyes.
Nice.
So obviously you can have a bit of both on it. Yeah.
I'm thinking for the limbs, you could probably talk to James at Rebel Base Build and try to make a type of foam that's easy to slip on, and it's not going to weigh a whole lot, and probably be cheaper to build as well. Then you can use your expanding foam to kind of make the muscle and everything, and then almost do like a paper mache maybe over all of that, or latex over that. So just some ideas to make it lightweight and functional.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think it'd be a cool thing to troop in. Like I say, I've got a Stormtrooper suit. So I've got an RS Props one, and that's getting really quite worn now. I've used that quite a bit. And I've got a Biker Scout as well. But it would be cool to do something different like that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's I've got that many projects on and stuff that I'm working on. say I've been working on a World War II werewolf film at the moment, and that's taking a lot of my time at the moment.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm just trying to wake up at the moment. Oh.
Good coffee.
Yeah. It's neat. Yeah.
This segment is brought to you by what's the coffee brand again?
Well, thanks for
It was just a cheap no frills one.
Oh.
I've even forgotten the name.
Uh-oh. Neck gator time.
Yeah. Funny.
yeah, neck gator time, huh? Maybe I should do a little commercial break. Here we go, everybody.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's cool. All right,
And it is beautiful, everybody. You can get yourself some merchandise. What's that?
Are we actually live now then? I thought it was just.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, right.
Surprise!
I just thought we were having a quick chin wag
Yes,
before
we've been live.
I'm glad I haven't swore then. That's brilliant.
No.
Well, I believe it's not tea because of the time. I mean,
It's because there's coffee in that cup and not something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave brings up a good point. Why isn't there tea in that cup? I'm shocked.
Well, does tea? I mean, I don't know. Does tea help wake you up?
No, it's just I expected tea. Sorry.
Yeah. It's really being back in England. We all drink tea, don't we? It's like
Everybody drink now.
There could be everything going on the next field, and we'll just be supping tea.
I just know I can't sleep without tea. So
Right.
I actually have to. Yeah, I have to have it each night. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
So what kind of tea? What kind of tea?
James turned me on to some that's actually from the UK. I forget the name of it, but man, if you leave that tea bag in there, bitter as heck. Man, that'll wake you up better than coffee. Wow. So tone that down. Otherwise, chamomile or bedtime, just generic teas around here. It's got to have the flavor to it, though. It can't just be like black tea or it's got to be some sort of flavor, green, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Do love me some burnt water. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Weed tea.
They make that?
I'm sure somebody has tried.
Then I won't be able to get to sleep at all. I just want to create stuff all day. Then get hungry, and I'll never get to sleep. We did mention merchandising, I think. Were you still merchandising over there?
We did, and not Anonymous. We kind of did. I mean, I can just mention it now. If you guys go to www.insidethebooth.tv.com,
there it is
/shop, you guys can get yourself a mug and some other stuff, t-shirts and hoodies and neck gaiters and what have you.
There it is.
I don't have
neck
it with
gator.
me today,
It's just
but
a fun word to say.
Neck gaiters. It is.
Yeah.
I actually call them do-rags because I don't have it with me. It's upstairs.
What? Oh, come on. Draw one.
I know. Draw one. Basically, I call it a do-rag. It's like a scarf almost, but it's connected. You put it over your head. You can use it as a mask. I use it for, when I had long hair, I used it to keep my hair back. What else can you use it for? You can use it for anything, really. Handkerchief.
Choke someone.
Things like that. Choke someone.
You could choke someone with it.
Yep.
If you're a fan of
you can
Call
pull
of
on
Duty,
it.
you've probably seen one where the guy has a skull on it, He raises it up. Yeah.
Yes. I've got one of them. Just sort of got half a skull, like just a skull mouth. Yeah, because I ride a mountain bike a lot and a motorbike, and you just pull that off. Yeah, good for keeping the draft out.
Yep. Well, you can buy one from us, and we have cool ones with our logo on it and other stuff. So if you're interested, go check it out.
Yeah, will do.
Will do.
You can never have too many of them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Just like teeth. Hey, Gamorrean guard.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, just make sure I put them in right. We
But
brush them every morning.
I can't tell. I mean, they're falling out, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Still got to paint these. I'm still trying. I think I might make these horns a bit bigger as well. Yeah, because I only quickly made them. I was just sort of quickly made them out of clay, chucked a bit of plaster on them, filled them with latex. And I think there's been a bit of shrinkage. So I think I want some bigger horns.
Yeah, shrinkage is a problem, definitely.
Yeah, must have been cold in there.
Yeah.
must have been cold.
Yeah, very.
It was in the pool. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's it. So do you guys have any like sci-fi movies or books or things that you like besides Star Wars?
Oh yeah. One thing that I really, really like, so this will be a plug. So I'm into an audio book or regular book even, but mostly audio book because the performance is really, really well done. And it's called Zombie Fallout. The author is Mark Tufo, and it's about the zombie apocalypse, but he does it with such a twist. It's unlike any zombie movie or book you've ever read before. On top of that, he makes some other books that deal with the same characters, but in an alternate universe, which we find out. So they deal with an alien invasion. It's extremely violent. But some really good writing and tons of comedy in it. So it's called Zombie Fallout. It's made by Mark Tufo. Maybe we could put that down in the description below. I would recommend the audiobook because there's an actor named Sean Renee, which does the voice acting for the characters. And it's just like, once you hear him do these voices for these characters, you would not want anyone else doing it. It's just a fantastic setup. So I guess, is that still sci-fi or is that more fantasy? I don't know. What do zombies fall under? I guess it's got sci-fi. Terror. So I mean, there's 20 books. The 20th book is it just came out this month, and it really is fantastic. Another series of audio books / regular books are from Sean O'Brien, and it's one of them is called A New World. It's a series that he's working on, among other series. It kind of deals with zombies as well. As I like zombies. They're not really zombies. They're called Nightwalkers. And basically they are humans that have evolved, but they can only come out at night because the rays from the UV rays from the sun can kill them. But at night, they are stronger than your average human because they've evolved, kind of like zombies. They feed on humans, super speed and agility, so it's pretty frightening. So once the sun goes down, these things goes berserk. And it's like half the planet has turned into them, half the population with a few survivors here and there. And it makes for an awesome zombie-like book. So that, and then, of course, there's Blade Runner and Aliens. There I said.
Oh, cool. We'll have to
check on Dune. And Dune.
Yeah, because I mean, when I watch
Dune 2 is coming out.
When the zombies and stuff like that are so fast and running, I think that's just so scary. That is. It's like The Walking Dead. They were just pretty slow, couldn't they? And they would just go through, stabbing them in the head. But when you get them fast ones that are just sprinting and running about, that's pretty scary. Yeah,
that's when the fear sets in.
Favorite one. Yeah.
So if you do pick up these books or listen to the audiobooks from Mark Tufo, it's not just running ones now. There's some that are even worse.
Right.
Believe that. I mean,
Ouch.
really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah,
What about
so-
you, Tony?
All of Us, I watched. I enjoyed that. It's not necessarily sci-fi; it's fantasy. I finally started watching the Game of Thrones. I think I'm on
Wow.
season 5.
Well, that was good.
Yeah, that is good.
I mean, up to the last season.
Oh, you know.
Well, I watched like part of the first episode, and I was like, I can't watch this. Like, just could not get into it. And
Really?
then finally, my employees at work kept going, "You got to see it. You got to just stick with it for a couple more episodes," you know. And so
Mhm.
I finally did, and now, yeah.
Yep. Hooked. It's
Yeah.
fantastic series.
It is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
I know.
they
I
ran
know.
out of fuel at the end.
They did.
I've heard that.
If
Yeah.
you've ever read the books, season 1 and parts of season 2 are verbatim what happens in the books. Then completely different. I mean, completely different.
That's Hollywood.
Yeah. And then the books he has never finished the book because he started working on the show.
That's
So
what I heard too. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and he ran out of fuel, I think.
Yeah.
Because he is late with his publisher in terms of delivering some of the other books. So yeah.
Well, you lose your motivation too. You know, I'm sure he's gotten a pretty penny for all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
don't really need to do this anymore. I've
I'll
gotten
get around to it eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like some of the projects in my garage. That's right.
I know. Yeah.
Yet I did not get paid. Huh. Weird.
My builds have really slowed down. I between that stupid show and you know, just summer stuff, getting in the spring and all of that, and then I also joined a local rock band. Just
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
just give me a chance to get out and jam,
Uh-huh.
play some cool 70s and 80s rock. So
That's
that's really consumed the last couple months, because I really hadn't played a whole lot on the guitar for a while. No reason. I just was busy building stuff, But it's been fun to get my chops back, and I was I still am a huge 80s like shredder, so I just love all the really fast stuff. So, and I can still play it. So this is an opportunity to play it out in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
so if anybody's wondering why I haven't had any new videos out, that's
why.
Yeah, I've been busy with other
during
stuff.
during the winter months.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you, Martin?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, I like Star Trek. It's funny because I like the even movies. Like Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan was really good.
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek 4 was good and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I enjoy Aliens and what other franchises. I'm a big science fiction buff, but
Too. Yeah.
the only other franchise that I have been passionate about as much as with Star Wars has been Lord of the Rings. I have a pornographically large collection of Lord of the Ring weapons that they're in a warehouse, unfortunately, because I don't have the space to display them. But I hope to be able to sometime. And yes, I think it's very impressive. It's kind of similar to what George Lucas did in terms of the creative process of Tolkien. But but Tolkien took it to the nth level because, for a guy to develop those rich and detailed cultures with the details and the wardrobe, the architecture and stuff, and the languages, he came up with the languages and the writing of those, and that's impressive. It didn't just pull it from thin air. Of course, he was a professor of dead tongues in Oxford, I think. But the fact that his creative process went so deep. I think it's mind blowing for somebody to devote so much time and so much care to build so much of a world. It's a lifetime work, I think, and it's impressive. And I feel that Peter Jackson did a remarkable job with that. The best thing, what I loved most of the Lord of the Rings Blu-ray discs was the appendixes, where you saw all the production. And I mean, to think that the guy hired 2 full-time swordsmiths to forge the swords by hand, the old-fashioned way. Sure, they have foam props and stuff like that, but the hero swords were made out of steel and they were made by hand, and that is mind-blowing. Wow. He had 2 guys doing all the chainmail armor, to the point that after the movies were finished, they had no fingerprints. They could have a very lucrative live robbing banks, I think. The wardrobe, everything was made by hand. I mean, such care for the most finite detail. I think that's amazing. And I think it was a proper tribute to Tolkien. So that's the other franchise that I really, really love, Lord of the Rings. It's a pity that Amazon took over and is doing what they did.
I was just going to ask you about that. What you thought about that?
Okay. Okay, I might get shot in the head by it. But
here it comes.
It didn't do a good job, that's for sure.
I mean, I am all for inclusion. Don't get me wrong. But
me too. Yeah.
But you have to understand that the Elvish race is a race. They have genetic traits.
Right.
And so the same with the Númenórean race. And when you start mixing ethnicities for the sake of inclusion, which is a social value that has nothing to do with the storytelling, I think you're actually downplaying the story.
Yep.
I mean, I have, it has nothing to do with racism. It's about,
right, but you're picking apart the vision, the original vision. He already envisioned all these characters, and then you go through just for the sake of inclusion and kind of mess that up.
I mean, if you
deconstructed it, right?
If you did Roots, the Axel Haley story, you wouldn't pitch a guy from the Indo-Pacific and a blonde guy just for inclusion in an African tribe. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
So that's my feeling with what Amazon is doing. So, I mean, again, it's not about discrimination. It's about being true to a story.
Yep.
So, what can I say?
Yep.
Yeah. Dan, what about Richard? You? Oh, Richard, what about you? What about you, Richard?
Oh, I'm a bit of a lazy person, as in, like, I don't read books or anything like that, but I love all films, and sometimes I love when films sort of branch on, like, or it could be true, like one of my favorite films is Kick-Ass, where he's like a bit of a, a sort of, well, he's like a superhero, wants to be, and things, and I even bought a Kick-Ass costume off the internet.
Nice.
And I went out on New Year's Eve night and just got drunk, dressed as Kick-Ass, and it was just absolutely brilliant. I got the marigolds on, the map, and
that's
just
funny.
And
we need footage of that.
Yeah, we went into this pub, and they were giving away free shots. It was like an actual pajama party apparently on the door, and they said we give you free shots, anyone in pajamas. And they wouldn't. I said, where's me free shot like? They were saying, but no, you can't because you haven't come in pajamas. I says, I have. I wear this to bed. You know what I mean? But they just wouldn't believe it. They just give me a shot like.
Didn't go for it, huh?
But I had a really good night. I made some little foam sort of, he's like little bats kind of thing, but they were stuck in. It was just very awkward to go toilet because the thing had to be unzipped, taken all the way off, and pulled all the way down. So it looked like a little
just wear a diaper next time. It'll be fine.
So that was just the embarrassing part of it. And then I actually just walked home.
So there's nothing embarrassing about having a diaper on underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be the next one when I do it next one.
Next time.
But yeah, walking home, I sort of
There'll be a
marched
next time, yeah. He hadn't learned a lesson.
So, yeah, keep trial and error, and yeah, but there's some nice, people have like who will be driving taxis that night have just seen, a kick-ass storming home. It must have been about 3 miles I stormed home wearing it like.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love stuff like that. The sort of branches on sort of, it could be real, or and I think that was a really good film.
That reminds me, I really enjoyed the Peacemaker series.
Oh, that was a great series, right?
Yes.
Like it's so
That's a
terrible,
good
and you're
series.
like laughing. The humor is just so dark, and I'm
From the moment it starts, right? From the opening sequence, you're in for a treat. Like, wait, what? Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that.
So bad it's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Eagly. That's all I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
Forgot to mention Marvel. That's another thing. I used to like.
True.
Things have gotten after
She-Hulk.
Endgame.
Endgame was it for me.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
that's true.
I mean, for the first 15 years, the
Endgame was
original
it.
Iron Mans and all of that.
Yep.
We're huge fans. We have all the DVDs,
Yeah, I think what broke it is we only like the original guys. We don't want any of these new guys. Like, who the hell is this? I don't know who that is. Ugh. What is? I don't know. At least that's my take on it. That's why I've lost interest.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, they were building up to that, so that's the peak.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's like to go beyond that.
Right.
And then all the actors are like, I don't want to do it anymore. Oh.
Right.
Although I have to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I've heard that's really good. So
it's
I
good.
have yet to see it.
Yeah.
I need to watch that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Dan? I know you like a ton of stuff. You're a movie buff, right?
Yeah. Look at that Office. You got all
Yeah.
Right?
I do. For sci-fi, I do enjoy. I mean, I don't know if you would call Ghostbusters sci-fi, but they kind of. I mean, there's some science fiction in that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
I would call it sci-fi. Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously,
have you seen the third one
from Marvel? There, I have not. Like you guys, I heard it was decent. There were some parts that I heard that are not good. But, yeah,
I'm still gonna go see it in the theater. That's one of those to see in the theater. I think
the vivid colors and all that. You just have to, yeah.
Thank you, Phil.
There's
okay, cool.
Yeah. Phil
hey, do you like Dune?
Pretty good. He's seen it. Dune. I'll be honest with you. The second movie looks really good. I haven't seen the first one yet.
What?
Yeah. It's,
man, that
it's a little slow. But I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
No, but it's a visual.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's a visual spectacle.
Yeah.
Every shot is a painting, man.
It really is. Just see it. Go watch it now. Let's end this and go watch it.
Yeah, go on. Turn on
the second one finally coming out.
Yeah, they have a trailer for it. Go look for
will
that.
say,
yeah,
yes, for 2. Yes, I did a trailer reaction with Tabitha, and that's up already. So, but the first movie, I guess I seen parts of it, and the reason I didn't see the whole thing yet is because I was watching it for the library because they said the disc was bad, so I kind of put it in. And yeah, the disc was bad. So like there was partial sounds. There's not, the whole thing was.
Yeah, no,
it wasn't that great. So so I didn't get to watch. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet. But that's what I did watch though. But what I did see visually, it was. It just wasn't like the DVD was bad, so it wasn't a full movie,
Don't give up on it. Just,
no,
you
you
gotta
have
try
to
it
watch
again.
it.
Try it
You have
again.
to
No,
watch
I
it.
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will watch it. I'll watch. What else do I like? I like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I have a friend that actually writes science fiction books. He's his name is Christopher Hopper, and he writes military science fiction, and it has
I'm right.
different
That's right up my
galaxies
alley.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me his information. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it's really he writes. Oh my goodness. He puts out 6 books a year or something like that.
Okay.
He's new age writers. Yeah, is what they call it, new age writing or something, where you just like throw out so many books a year and you just keep going. So that's what he does. And I've interviewed him twice on my channel already, and I should get him back on because he's got more.
Yeah, I have to look for that.
Obviously, I got more followers.
Nice.
I'll send you his stuff.
Please do.
Yeah, that's
I'll
straight
throw
up my
one of
bit as well.
his-
Because, like I say,
his
we're working
books.
on the World War II werewolf film, bringing the military with a little bit of fantasy. And
That's cool.
I mean, I wrote my script.
Yeah.
It must have been about 7 or 8 years ago. And the idea that I got, and then I just couldn't. Well, I actually had the idea. It was absolutely years ago, 20 odd years ago, making a World War II werewolf film. And then the film Dog Soldiers come out. And I just give up. I thought, oh, that was awesome. I thought, I feel like somebody had already done it because their take was absolutely brilliant. The acting was just fantastic, and then I just got a little bit of a different take on mine, and it's not because like the military wanted the werewolf as a weapon, because that's usually the way the films go.
Yeah,
mine was they already got the werewolf, but have just never dared use it until 1944 when they decide to we're going to have to use this. We're going to have to get this werewolf over to France. But all the young guys are out there fighting, so it's a dad's army group have got the job to get the werewolf over to France. But because they're so old, they can't be dropped out of a plane because the knees are bad. So basically, they've got to go all the way to France in this truck with the werewolf to get it over there before the next harvest moon kind of thing. And then I've just got a little twist, whereas everything goes fine, they let the thing free, it does its job, and on the way back, because it's a harvest moon, there's a ghost moon throughout the day. So the guy who is the werewolf, he's just sort of part of the group where he starts half changing and getting sort of feelings like he wants to rip all the throats out kind of thing. But that's happening throughout the day because there's just a ghost moon that's half changing him. So that's where my story.
They didn't plan on that.
All the rest of the guys are just walking along. Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Just have the teeth and the big sideburns and just sort of
just walking around.
Sort of
this is my normal face.
What's happening?
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, so it's just it takes a lot of time, don't it? Like, and it's getting everybody together. It is like herding cats, because everybody has just got so much stuff to do. As they say, life gets in the way, and trying to get I bought 2 nice big lights so I can film at night time, because when the werewolf tears all the goes for the Germans and that's got to be filmed at night time because I want it. We've done some filming in back gardens and all that kind of stuff, and it hasn't looked too bad. So because a lot of guys who I know through reenacting have got vehicles, so I have to go around to their premises. I can't ask them to drag the vehicle out, get a trailer and take it to this field. Luckily enough, I know someone who's got a riding stables and a farm, and he's bought another field, and he just lets us run riot in there, like kind of thing.
Nice.
So because when you go in and filming with uniforms and guns, they're only like BB guns but you've got to do it in the right place, not to upset.
Local authorities won't be happy.
Yeah, and sort of having this field has just been, just the icing on the cake, so we can just have a play undisturbed.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's slowly getting there. I hope to finish most of the filming this year, getting all my mates because it's taken so long, and then we had COVID hit.
Yes.
My nephew, he's gone from like 16. He was a young little stowaway on the truck. He just sneaked on the truck before he went over, and then he just basically put on about 3 stone and grew a beard. And I thought, the continuity police is just going to take me to the cleaners.
He's a werewolf too.
Exactly. That's exactly what I've done. He's accidentally had his hands scratched.
Yeah.
At some point.
There you
So
go.
basically, one
There you go.
shot, he's just there with him when we finished filming in 2000. Oh, I forget now. A good couple of years ago. Next minute, he's walking behind with a big beard, and they just double take. Like, what the hell's gone on there? You know what I mean, kind of thing.
No,
They say, well,
there are 2 of them.
Yeah, I had my hand scratched earlier.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
New guy.
so we were led to believe. Yeah, so and that's working quite well, because every time we go filming, because he's one of these millenniums, he's quite lazy. His hair's all growing as well. So every time we go out filming again,
He changes,
he's
huh?
getting longer hair and
Nice.
his beard's growing. I'm thinking, this is bonkers.
That's cool. Wow, you couldn't have asked for a better outcome, right?
Right.
No, so everything's like a rewrite every time.
That's funny.
Everything's just got to be rewritten to,
Mm-hmm.
I think, right, Joseph, what sort of state are you in? You haven't had a shave, have you? You haven't had your haircut? No, I haven't yet. Right, brilliant. So we can carry on with the story. And I think it's driving his mum bonkers, but I just keep saying,
You gotta hurry up and film.
just ignore your mum. Don't have a shave, and we'll just keep it going.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's fun. It takes me time away, because I'm thinking, what am I going to do after I finish this? But I absolutely love the editing. I love bringing it to life.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the time, the sound guy doesn't turn up, so I have to quickly do the sound. And then a lot of the time, I'm playing the guy who is the werewolf. So when I run in front of the camera and do my bits, I've got to go and check what the camera guy's done, and then I have to give someone a crash course on the sound equipment. One time, I just had to. One of my mates turned up and says, "Listen, mate, just point this microphone and put it on record." And I had one sound file that was like an hour and a half long, and I just had to take the segments out. So I'm learning a hell of a lot with editing, and I'm learning to make the best of what you've got. And I'm learning a hell of a lot of cheats. I film everybody's faces listening to something now, so I can grab little bits. Or if I've had missing sound files, and I've had to go around the house and record the sound again.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sneak that in. And when I sneak it in at certain times, I'll have somebody else's face looking at them. So I've just learned a hell of a lot. Whereas I feel like I'd want to go back and reshoot some of the early stuff, or I'm definitely going to go back and re-edit that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a few guys who are going to help me on the sound. And I've known a guy for ages who's really into CGI, and he's offered me a CGI werewolf, but no, I want to go to
traditional,
cool. Like an 80s B movie. So like the werewolf is pretty much finished now, and
make a giant arm and just
I mean, I mean, the actual werewolf is stuck on top of a motorbike helmet. So
nice.
So the actor sort of, when he bends forward, he looks forward. But there was nobody, and I got a jaw working on a cable. But one of the last filming, there was nobody free to work the jaw. So the werewolf just looked shocked all the time. He's just like his mouth. I thought,
he's as shocked as we are. Look at him.
There's like quite a few extras in the Germans. He's just like an all-you-can-eat buffet, so he's perhaps just a bit shocked. And he's like, So,
fun.
but I
That's
think
fun.
it's all coming together pretty good now, and just been having a lot of play with false blood as well, and making a lot of that, and you know, so because I mean we've got light nights have come in now, so that's sort of slowed down for the werewolf stuff. So I'm going to go back to the actual getting the all the acting stuff done on the. We're getting to the scenes which I've called Homeward Bound, where you know they've come across what the werewolf's done, and now they're trying to get back home to the ferry port of the truck, and this is where things start going wrong in the daytime. So I'm trying to forget about the werewolf stuff, and I'll get back to filming that in winter time, because I do want a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know a lot of reenactors, you know, and so I do want to try and get a few numbers up on that kind of thing, and even a few of them make a run for it for the woods and that. So yeah, I think it's just going to keep snowballing and snowballing. And you know, people say, "What are you going to do after this?" I say, "I'm just going to have a lie down."
Sequel, of course.
Yeah. Or if I kill everybody off, I might have a prequel.
There you go.
Yeah, because
a prequel. That's it.
Yeah, because the guy who the werewolf. Yeah, the MOD have had this werewolf for ages. How my story is, and then they've only just decided to get him out. So there's the story.
That's when you go CGI. Is when you go prequel.
Exactly. That's the law. That's the law. Start him as a child with very little acting skills.
Yeah.
Make him say "oops" a lot and do flips. That's always cool.
Oops. Yeah.
That's proven to have worked.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
I was going to mention Mad Max, but I don't think that's science fiction. But that's a good. That's good
great
movie though. Mad Max.
Yeah.
The new one is done really well.
Good costumes.
Really well. Really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit fun.
Well, we've been on here for about. Yeah. We've been on here for like an hour and 20 minutes. So.
Are you tired, Dan?
I am getting tired.
Richard's like, whatever.
Right.
I've got these two little glass eyes. I can just pop these in and then just sit here like
that.
There you go. He's still awake. He's got all his teeth too.
I like it.
Cool.
Well, thanks for having us, Dan. This was fun as always.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
Thank you for letting us hang out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do it again another time for sure. Sure.
I'm up for that.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
I'm ready to make
guys.
awkward moments.
Thanks guys for being here.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks guys for being here. For those of you watching, thank you for being here. Those of you who are gonna watch, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ding the bell, and vanquish that like button, so you get notified for more stuff coming.
Smite
it. That's right.
Like
wow, with a smite, smite it.
Right. Smite it.
And do what you do here on Inside the Booth, or on YouTube, I should say. Great show, guys. Thanks, Dave. And yeah, don't forget, if you want to support, you can become a member. You can become a Patreon member. And you can also do what a couple of the people already did tonight is super chats. And that always works.
And merch.
All right. Thanks everybody for being here. And merch. That's right. And merchandising. Where the real money is made.
That's right. It's a fun word. I'm sorry.
Thanks everybody for being here.
Thanks for the invite.
Thanks everybody for being here. Hey, yes. Thank you for you guys on the panel. You can stay after the live is over.
Yep.
But everybody else, thank you. Have a good night, and we will soon.
Remember this? Remember this? Remember this? Remember this? Remember this? Remember this? Remember this?